So first I want to show off my shirt. It's California Golden Bear. I graduated from undergrad 7 years ago today, so that's exciting. Um, so I celebrated by watching. No, I watched. I was going through the like romantic comedies that I had on my Netflix queue that were directed by women, and I found one that I was like unsure if I wanted to watch, and then I read this user comment. I'm going to read you this user comment. It's just from like the biggest asshole. Like this guy's a dick. Um, Here's his comment. This lovely human being. The estrogen is so strong that even the meaningful story, parentheses, and pretty girls just can't make it work. Like, what kind of an asshole do you gotta be to leave a comment like that in a public forum? Anyways, so where am I going with this? Oh, so I watched this movie, and okay, so it starts out. It's a very complicated movie, kind of. But at first I thought it was set in San Francisco, and things were not quite right because I lived in San Francisco for several years, and I was like, this is not right. And then I realized it's Canadian, and it's actually Vancouver, and everything made sense, and all of the like suddenly I started hearing the accents and all the things that weren't quite right because it's not America. It's a different culture. Like Canada is creepy because no offense, Canada, but it's creepy because it's like you think Canada's the same, but it's so not. It's like so a different country. I don't know why Americans think it's the same, or at least I've always thought I was like, oh, Canada, it's the same. No, the more into Canadian culture I like delve, and by that I mean films by Canadian women, the more I'm like, whoa, Canada is a different place. Anyways, so it stars Karen Dwyer as a young 19-year-old girl who's just recently dropped out of college, and she lives in the back of the bookstore where she works. And she meets a young artist who lives in a van, and she falls in love with said artist. And the two are lesbians. And the bookstore she works in is a lesbian bookstore. On this exact same day, her mother has called and told her that she is getting a divorce from her current husband, who's the main character's stepfather, and her teenage brother are going to be moving in with her. She doesn't have a house, so she has to sublet all of a sudden. But then she also has this woman that she's fallen in love with because her car got impounded, her van. It's a lot of craziness. On top of all of that, the bookstore has an order of books that are being impounded by the customs for being obscene because they're like lesbian books, and so they're obscene. And there's all this shenanigans going on with that. And then on top of it, it also has a bisexual character and a trans woman. And it's just kind of wonderful to see a whole spectrum of like the LGBT community. Like literally the only part practically of the LGBT community that's not represented is the straight white male, because that's the generally in when you think gay, you think that, and that's what you get in like television, and it was nice to sort of see beyond that, although everyone was white in this. The woman playing the bookstore owner is Anne Marie MacDonald, who is an author, famous Canadian author. The trans woman was actually played by a man, which was a little disappointing, but he did a really good job, and the character was interesting, and felt really well fleshed out as a full person and not just like a stereotype of a trans woman, which I thought was nice. Because, doesn't do anyone favors to present underrepresented people in stereotypical and unpolished ways, This movie addressed sort of being young and afraid to come out of the closet. It addressed trans violence within the queer community, which I was kind of hard to watch, but I also was like, it's not just, straight people that can be terrible. What else? Oh, this is on Netflix, and also I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, you can watch it on Amazon also, but Netflix streams a lot better than Amazon. What else? There's a lot of dildos and like vibrators and things, which is always fabulous. And I mentioned the bisexual, which is good. Canada, a lot of Canadian things. Some weird knockoff Canadian Scrabble called what was it called? Word something, wordogram or word. I don't know. It was not Scrabble. It was very strange. Oh, Wordorama. Is that a real thing? I don't know. Did they make that up for the movie so they didn't have to pay for Scrabble? Possibly. Because I googled it and I can't find Wordorama like as presented in this movie anywhere. This movie had a happy ending, which I also was grateful for because it sort of skidded towards like a dark place, and I was like, no, I love all these characters so much. It's fun to watch a movie where you're like, I love all of these women, it's nice. So if you want to watch a movie where you like love all the women and you just feel sort of hugged, this is a good one. So it was directed by Ann Wheeler and it was written by Peggy Thompson. She's written a handful of things, and Ann Wheeler's done a lot of television. I suggest this. I thought it was delightful. It's from 1999, Canada. Better than chocolate.